So we've then began getting our customers on podcasts. Like it's not a clear answer. I wish I can just say, hey, you do these 3 things. We have our own framework, but it's things like that I'm sharing that we're seeing is influencing the results. So a press release back in the day mattered because it was like a good quality link for like a day or something. But a press release also is media, and you can put in. So I have a client who launched a brand new YouTube channel, and there was no mention of this company in ChatGPT. After they launched the YouTube channel, they put out a couple of video. You go to ChatGPT, well, we put out a press release about the channel and all of this. Then you go to ChatGPT and it knows everything about this YouTube channel. So we're like, hey, I think we're trying to figure out how they're doing it. And the good thing is, I think it's the exciting part, that they wrote an algorithm. So just like Google had an algorithm, if you can figure that out, right? Like it's not impossible to figure it out. But I think it's easier than actually people make it out to be. So we're doing good old outreach, brand mentions, right? Quality press mentions, and podcast interviews, and things that we can influence that are then able to then change what they know about you. If LLMs don't know about what you do because you give it no information, you don't have structured data on your website, you don't have any content, right? You don't have schema markup, you're not answering questions, then it doesn't matter. We're not going to show up. That's sort of like your foundational things. And then from there, you just got to go keep working on creating content on YouTube and making sure the same exact answers are being done. It's a lot more content creation. However, it's totally changeable, and we're seeing and we're tracking every day. So we're seeing how the answers are being influenced by the activity that the brand is doing.
Yeah, I think that was great points. I think that share of voice in media is key, and the easiest way for most brands to do that is YouTube. You saw in the big announcement from Google, they pivoted to YouTube. I mean, they see where these things are going. I think that they're under a lot of pressure to come up with new 100%. Subscription models with ads that are kind of moving away, and they're trying to. I don't know if we're going to see ads in LLMs. I mean, they say they're not, but it remains to be seen. I think press releases are phenomenal as well. I think there's different places to get citations and what the training sets look like. A lot of educational based stuff. One of the interesting things that I would consider maybe a pro tip, it was something that we learned recently as we were building out a new site, was LLMs don't pick up iframe embeds. Okay. So how many websites out there have a lot of really important content in an iframe embed? And well, it's not schema unless unless you're labeling it, unless maybe you have some schema markup referencing what it is, that's not going to show up. So schemas, people debate on whether schema is important. It's structured data. It helps build trust, and that's what Google's about, is building that trust. So I think that there's a lot of stuff that's changing, and it questions your assumptions. And like I love to know what I know, and then go let me go test it. Let me go see if something's different. Let me go kind of tweak it. Let me go see what happens. And so I'm really enjoying the discovery process that, everything's different. Everything's new. It's kind of like an unexplored land. I've done a couple posts. I have a newsletter on LinkedIn that I need to probably do a little bit more consistently. But, I did the post about, it's kind of like, Columbus Day. We just had Thanksgiving. I know this will be released probably in January, but we're doing this right after Thanksgiving. It's new land. It's new territory that is unexposed. Now, certain people just inherited it, but if they're not really doing the things they need to do, they're not going to maintain that ownership. And also, you can't just stumble on this anymore. Like it's very intentional. I think a lot of what's happening. You've made some really interesting points, which doing a press release before a campaign that you launch is something that's pretty standard, but seeing it in the data of you have a YouTube channel and then you're calling attention to it. Like there was a paper out there, attention is everything, that kind of kicked this whole thing off with the LLMs. You're calling attention to that. And then the LLMs are going and checking it out, kind of swarm theory. And then they're going and checking out the podcast, and then they're indexing the whole podcast, and it gets into the training data. That's a super interesting insight.
Every single one of our clients automatically are getting this level of support. It's not an add-on. You don't go and say, oh, I want the traditional SEO, and then can you give me this other thing? We can't. There's no way. It's all intertwined. So we have the opportunity to test all of our theories against all of our existing clients, as well as the ones that are coming in by me putting out a lot of resources and content, and just what we're finding every single day. And it's been interesting to say the least, because no one's ever, this is a new territory, even for the experts of the experts. They're still figuring it out. So back to your point, Matt, experimentation is what we do. We've always done that. We never knew anything until we can prove something. And eventually it stopped working. And I think the same exact thing is going to happen. I believe that marketers are going to ruin ChatGPT because we now know what the freak we need to do. And that means that we can't trust it like we used to trust. And right now it's probably clean, but eventually, as you know, everybody can figure out how to show their brand up there. And so it's going to become more harder, and some other thing is going to pop up to make it harder, or to actually have the quality data. The more interesting thing, I think, is our customers do not care what you do. They want their answers. So I think we need to solve for the customer. And I don't want to be the guy that's got the secret to showing up in ChatGPT. That's not the thing. You and I have clients and have hundreds of millions of companies out there. They have a specific type of customer they're trying to serve.